Hey, all right, so we are going to get started on part 2 of my budget-friendly kitchen makeover. In this one, I have got to clean the walls because we are going to be painting those. I've got some Dawn dish liquid and some distilled white vinegar and some hot water, and I just added, I have no ratio for this. I just poured until I thought it looked right. I'm sure you can get that information off of the internet. And then I've just got a little sponge here, and I'm going to clean these walls. Before I do that though, I've got to take off some of these outlet covers, and that's what I guess I will do first. And I will just be using my little roasting pan to put all my covers in. I'm going to be spray painting them, so I'm not replacing them. And I'll put them all in here, everything in here, so I can keep track of it. Cleaner works pretty good. I'm impressed. Okay, so with what I'm going to be working with at the moment, I've got cleaned for the most part. I've got to try to move this oven away. I don't know if I can or if I can't. We'll see. I can't move that refrigerator. So that wall's going to have to wait until my husband's home, and thank goodness today's Friday, so he'll be getting off early. But I'm gonna let that dry, and we will be putting on some peel and stick backsplash. And I'm doing this to keep my budget low because I do still have other projects I want to work on. But eventually we'll come back to it and retile it with actual tile. But we're gonna wait to do that until we get the countertops replaced. And that's just not in the budget at the moment. So I figure why not try some peel and stick? I can keep the countertops where they are. And then when we replace them and tear up the countertops, then we can just put the tile in and make it all look cohesive. So I'm gonna try to move this oven. Okay, so I just moved out this oven, and this is what you get when you don't periodically clean. And I'm gonna say all that is prior to moving in. So I'm afraid to move the refrigerator. But yeah, it's not as bad as what was behind the washer and dryer, but I'm gonna give this a really good cleaning. Whew, that looks so much better. And I'm gonna let all this dry. So I need to put some spackle on that. And I have a hole over there that I'm gonna need to put some spackle on. All right, now I will be using the DAP Spackling, the Drydex Dry Time Indicator, so it's pink. And we started keeping a moist paper towel in there because this stuff dries out so fast, and we were hoping that that would keep it from drying out. So it actually does not feel dried out. So hey. just going to let that dry. And while that's drying, I'm going to take Samson for a you-know-what, W-A-L-K. So I shall be back. So I've got taped off where I don't want the paint to go, and I am going to go ahead and use a primer. When I painted the dining room, which I'm using the same color in here as I have in the dining room, it still showed quite a bit through this paint, whatever paint they used, after one coat. So since I know I'll have to use 2 coats, I'm going to go ahead and use a primer to start with. That way I'm not using so much of the paint. Yeah, so here we go. All right, got the fridge moved, got the wall primed, everything clean. And I even went ahead and primed the sides of my cabinets. That way I can take care of those too. Okay, now I'm going to start on the stick-on wall tile. And I have the assistance of my awesome husband. Thank you, baby. And right now we are just trimming it down. I've got these switches right here that unfortunately are going to have to take up 1 tile. So I've got to make 2 cuts in 1 tile, which is new to me because usually my husband will take care of all the cutting on stuff like that. But this is my channel and I want to do a lot of the work myself. And I've got this thing with electrical, and my husband's pretty good at it. So he is just cutting around the switches and screwing them back into the wall through the tile. so right here I'm just going to use some glossy white spray paint from Fusion and just spray my outlet covers and the tops of the screws, and I just use some styrofoam to shove the screws in so they stand upright. All right, so we've got the stick-on tile done and we've got the plates back up. Unfortunately, I ended up having to go and buy some. I didn't feel like painting all the pieces that I didn't pull off. So, and I wanted some different switches. So I did decide to go ahead and buy some new ones. And I just think they look better. So that is an expense that I wasn't expecting. It actually ended up costing me $100 to buy all of the switches and the covers, but it was worth it. And I think the stick-on tile looks pretty good. Now, to be honest with you, I can't wait to do real tile and replace these countertops, but in time, in time. But overall, I think it looks really, really good. What do you guys think?